Hello and welcome to Tunnel Barn Farm in Warwickshire. This is the 6th annual Daiwa Pole Fishing Masters, and over the next 3 days 120 of the best commercial anglers in the country will be doing battle across 8 lakes here to be crowned champion. At stake we've got one of the richest prizes in festival match fishing, a Daiwa Airs Pro pole worth just short of £7,000 and £3,000 in cash for the winner. Plus we'll be paying down to 12th place overall, as well as section prizes and tackle prizes for each lake winner each day. So how does the event work? Well, each lake is split into sections of 5 or 6 anglers. The winner of each section each day is awarded 1 point, down to 5 points for last. At the end of the 3 days, the angler with the lowest cumulative score is crowned champion. In the event of a tie on points, section wins and then weight are used to decide the winner. Tunnel Barn hasn't been its usual self lately. Normally this time of year we're seeing some massive weights, but the last few weeks have been a little bit tricky. This is going to make this event even more interesting, as we're going to see a wide variety of tactics and techniques at play as anglers try and work out how to wheedle out those extra few fish for valuable section points. We've got some of the biggest names in UK match fishing taking part here. Jamie Hughes, Andy Bennett, Paul Holland, Matty Dawes, Christian Jones, Alan Scotthorne, Sandra Scotthorne, you name it, they're here and taking part. Let's go and see how they're getting on.
Right, so it's the first day of the Pole Masters today. Really looking forward to this event. It's an event that obviously attracts a lot of top anglers, so it's one I really want to do well in. Today is the first day and I've drew peg 9 on canal. It's not a most favourable draw, to be honest. There's quite a few good pegs in my section. I know peg 3 in the practice match yesterday had a really good weight, £113, and I know I've got Sam Collett on an M peg to my right, which is a really good peg, so it's going to be tough to win the section, but I'm going to try my best. I did actually fish this lake yesterday myself, and I think I've worked a few things out how I caught quite a few fish on maggot short, so fingers crossed that works again for me today.
So for the first round of this year's Masters, I've gone and drawn a weird one. I've drawn 36 on the new pool, which I don't know if I like it or not. I've never ever drawn this little skinny bit during the summer, but it always seems to have some fish. There's always lots of little fish here, so I'm hoping for a day getting bites. So the one thing I would say is that I'm quite happy with it as a section peg. So with it being small sections, it gives everyone a chance, keeps everyone in with a shout for as long as possible. And I'm the first section in this first section in my section, so I'm on 36, it goes round to 44. I'm fancying 44 being the peg to beat, but if I can catch 60, 70 pound, then for me that'll be in with a shout. So fingers crossed for a day with lots of bites, lots of little ones, and with a bit of luck we can win the section off this one, but it might be a bit of a tough ask.
Well, I'm on peg 21 on canal today. Certainly not a peg I dreamt about last night, trying to defend my title. I'm going to be up against it a little bit in this section, I think. I'm the only one without a reed bed across, and the fish are definitely in the reeds at the moment. But you never know. Hopefully it'll fish pretty fair, and I can get off to a decent start. But I think I've got my work. I think I've got my work against me already from day one. But it's a great competition. I'm very lucky to have already won it once, so I'll certainly be going to win it a second time. It's a brilliant competition, and can't wait to start fishing.
Hi, my name's Dylan Blythe. I'm fishing the Pole Masters this year. It's a brilliant event, to be fair. It's all the best anglers. It's the cream of the creme really when it comes to commercial pole fishing. Today I've drawn top 23. No, it's not the best of areas. Hoping it'll be a steady match, and hopefully we can catch a few and get decent points in this section. It looks okay. I've seen a few fish kicking about, so hopefully we'll have a good one and we'll snare a few.
Yes, I've drawn high 27. I've heard it's quite a decent peg and it looks okay. It's quite a deep peg, so I've got a lot to go at. Set up long. I've got a nice long edge as well underneath the platform, so hopefully get a few there as well. And yeah, going to fish up and down on casters with some worm. That seems to have been working at the moment. Yeah, see how it goes. Brilliant, yeah, brilliant event. I mean, we've come down We came down Wednesday, Thursday, and already had 2 brilliant days, 3 brilliant days of fishing. And I'm really looking forward to the event. It's a brilliant venue. It's the second time I've seen it, and all the lakes seem to be stuffed with fish and plenty of stuff to go at as well, which is always beneficial. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Connor Barlow. We're here today on day 2 of the Daiwa Pole Fishing Masters 2021. We're just behind my peg on day 2, 19 on club, which it wasn't the best lake yesterday. I think £50 won the lake, so it could be a bit of a scratching day for me today, but hopefully try and do enough to get the all-important section win. Had a nice day yesterday. I was on peg 29 on New Pool. I caught £140, mostly on cast shallow, so a brilliant day really, which was enough for second in the match. My good mate Paul Holland won it with 143, so that was a nice start to the festival, and hopefully I can continue it today if we have a decent day.
So yesterday I was on peg 4 on iPool. I caught some in edge to start with, some on hard pellets across, a couple on cast shallow in Reeds, and then I've had a really good run last hour on maggot short. Nice day from the peg, I didn't expect it. I ended up with 127.7, which won my section and my third in match. Today I've drawn house 33 at Endett Bridge. Steady peg, to be honest. I've got a lot of room to my right, so we'll see how we get on.
Hi, my name's Paul Holland. Yesterday I drew peg 7 on new, really good peg, loads of options in a corner, and set up literally first day, try and cover everything. So I started across, ground bait micros, sort of 17-inch of water. Had a good 45 minutes, probably caught 25 pound. But I noticed Pete and Gary next to me both catching well short, so I dropped in short where I've been priming it with maggots. They weren't on the bottom. Caught a few shallow, like 2-foot rig, nice little strung out rig. Caught well doing that. Then priming in the edge, sort of long where the cover is with casters. Had a good run on that. And then after that, it's just sort of petered away from me, to be honest. Caught a few short on the bottom, and again a few close to cover. And the last hour, literally been rock hard. I've only caught 20 pound, but the venue's a bit up and down at the moment, obviously with spawning, so I was just pleased to draw a nice peg. And a good start, to be honest. I've just pipped Connor for the match win, so sorry Con, he's one of my good mates, so he's behind me on 29 on new. He's fished really well, 140 pound from there is phenomenal weight, to be honest. Today I've drawn peg 4 on house. Reasonable draw. The only problem is Steve Conway on peg 6 is a predominant peg on this lake, but on the what day is it now? I'm losing all track of days, but on the Sunday, the match was actually one on my peg. He had 117 pound, I think. So I'm not disappointed, basically. I know that if I can beat Steve, but top 2, I think, you know, I'm happy drawing this peg because there's a lot of pegs that, you know, you're going to really struggle from. So wish me luck. Fingers crossed we'll catch a few.
Right, so today's the second day of the Pole Masters. Yesterday I was on peg 9 on Canal and I had a bit of a struggle coming last in section with 63 pound. Struggled most of the day. Did manage to catch a few fish though late on, fishing with worms in the edge and also with maggot short. So today I've drew peg 23 on Canal, so back on this lake again. Looks a lot better today. Like yesterday on peg 9 I didn't have any cover across in the edge, no reeds or nothing like that. Whereas today, both in the edge and across, I've got some nice reed beds and I think I'm going to get a few more bites here today. So my approach is going to be mainly fishing with worms, so in my edge to my right and maybe across to the reeds, but I'm hoping today, I've got a decent depth against them reeds, I'm hoping to catch them shallow with casters, so fingers crossed I'll get a few more bites. I'm going to be quite positive today because I've got nothing to lose now after yesterday, sort of coming last in section. I don't think I'm going to be able to frame sort of overall in the festival, even if I had 2 wins now. So what I'm going to be going for is sort of the overall money, sort of framing in the match. So I need to catch a big weight today if I'm going to do that. So being positive, casters across, worms down the edge and maggots short. Fingers crossed that, you know, I do enough on the day and I can sort of get into the overall money.
So yeah, good match yesterday. I drew Canal 1, which is one of the flyers on the complex. I've had a really nice day catching shallow across into the rushes, a few casters, and a few late fish down my edges as well, left and right. So it's all come together quite nicely and had a cracking day. And then obviously we're across from young Christian on the opposite bank and had a nice wee battle throughout the day, which he's won. So it was nice to see him win. I've got to know Christian quite well actually over the last couple of months. He's a nice lad, so it was good for us both to get a few fish. So yeah, good day. So we're on Club 19 today. It's not really a water I know much about, if I'm being honest. I think it's been okay this end of the lake the last couple of days, looking at the results. So yeah, looking forward to a good day on here. And there's a wee bit of an international going on here. I've got Mikey Williams from Wales to my right, and I've got Big Alan Scotthorne from England to my left, so that should be a good bit of fun today.
So yesterday I drew peg 4 on the new pool. Now on the new pool it's just quite narrow, so I decided just to fish down the middle and 2 edge lines and a few different lines across, just kept it dead simple. Found it recently, just want to rotate lines here, catching 1 or 2 fish off each line, moving around your peg, not clattering the fish, because if you do they just scatter and they don't come back, especially it being so narrow. So I won the section with £96 luckily, £2, a bit of luck on my side. So today I've drew peg 1 on club, which is behind me. Now it's a really good section peg this today. The wind's been coming down here and hopefully there's a few fish here. I do fancy it for a section win, but you never know with fishing, they could have moved or anything. So speaking to Mikey yesterday, he's caught on worms on the next peg, so that's how I'm going to approach my match. I'm going to fish worms up one edge, across to the reeds, and I'm going to throw some maggots short. I'm probably going to fish some casters down the edge as well, because that's been really good for me the past 2 days, so hopefully I can catch a few fish and win my section again and see how we get on.
Yesterday's match I drew peg 4 on house. Really fancied it, to be honest. You were in with peg 6 and Steve Conway was on 6, but I fancied it being quite difficult. To be honest, if there was an amount of luck, if you had like a limit of luck, I used it all yesterday. It was a nightmare, to be honest, getting an odd fish coming in your peg, foul looking a few. It was really, really difficult. And I just caught enough literally by £2. Some days it swings for you. The partridge a couple of weeks ago, I lost qualifying by £4. Yesterday it swung for me. So hopefully, fingers crossed, lady luck's on my side. On my peg today, to be honest, I had a list of pegs roughly that I wanted in my head. I would have loved to peg with cover. Fish seem to be in them. But where I've drawn here, peg 31 on new, I've had some lovely matches here, and I know there's always some fish here, but I just need to hope that they don't sit in cover today. It's dead bright, dead hot, but you know, in fishing, if it's meant to be, you'll have a nice steady day and you'll catch enough. If it's not meant to be, it doesn't matter. We're outside, we're fishing, we're in the sunshine. After the last few months we've had, look at it. Who can complain being out on a day like today?
Yesterday I was on peg 26, Jenny's. Fished hard, I fished for an hour, then started getting a few shallow down in front of me on top kit. Went a bit iffy towards the end. Just much of a struggle really, same as the day before. The total weight yesterday was £36. Peg 4 Jenny's, I fancy it because this peg won the section yesterday. Just, I don't know, just give me the best shot, see how we get on. Expect to have a few shallow, a few down the edge later on. Might get a few mug in the way the weather is today. See how it goes.
Right, so far this week I drew extension 25 the first day, nice and reasonable peg for the section. You've got a big reed bed opposite, so I've just ploughed casters in at that and fished shallow to that, and then 5 metres with worm over caster, and I did enough on the day to win my section by about £20 with £96 on the day. And then yesterday I drew a bit of a trickier lake and I drew top 5. Wasn't going to be easy, so I've really had to think about what I was doing and quite cautious. I've ended up catching at 5 metres on the deck and then down the gully to my right on the deck as well, and then I've had a carp that was £14 that I mugged. That helped as well, and that's left me on 2 points going into the last day. Today, not really confident at all. I'm on new 35. I'm in with the pegs up to 25 on the straight. I come here a fair bit and they are the pegs at the minute. They've got a nice big bush opposite to fish up to. It's quite narrow here. I almost feel like I'm on a different lake to the rest of the section, but we never know. With the sun out today, it's going to fish a bit different, and hopefully they come into the shaded corner, but who knows.
So I've been lucky enough to win my section first 2 days. First day I went on club, quite a difficult match to be honest. It's fishing fairly hard. I managed to win my section and win that late with £55. Now the only downside, it's not a big weight, which unfortunately I think I'll probably need. So yesterday I went on 27 on house, which is still in this same section, just further down from me. Again, I was unsure whether I was going to catch or not. I've managed to catch firing casters towards island. It was 3 foot and I've caught shallow. And I managed to win lake and win my section again. Today I'm in this same section, but I'm on 30. Now yesterday I didn't catch a lot, I'll be honest, but the fish seem to be in cover. So wherever people have been catching, there's been some cover, whether it's reeds or an island. Today I've only got open water, so it could be a bit dodgy. There's some very good pegs in my section as well. I'm hoping to try and catch shallow in open water. If not, maybe catch underneath on bottom, worms and casters or maggots. The fish have just been, it's been so up and down, so natural baits has just been the best. So hopefully I can just do enough.
Right, so on Monday I started on 44 on new, and I've just caught short. I had a great first hour catching about 15 big F1 short, and then just had a few through the day to finish with £86. And then yesterday I was on top 13 and I've just fished shallow to the pads all day. Yeah, I've had £65 just to win the section. Today I've drawn on 36 new, which won its section twice yesterday. Now today I'm going to fish with a bit of cover there with casters and a few lines down the middle.
And on to the festival winner now. And what can I say about this man? He's fished an awesome 3 days. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, thoroughly deserves this. He's had 3 points, a weight of £258.8. He's going home with £3,000 in cash, a lovely trophy, and the new Daiwa AirZ Pro Pole, which, well, I think it's the best on the market. So, big round of applause, please. Mitch Davidson.
Well done, that man.
Yeah, so first started fishing the Pole Masters back in 2018. Finished just outside the top framing spots back then. Shortly after, I took a break from fishing due to real life sort of kicking in. Returned back to fishing in general late last year in May, just after we come out of lockdown. One of the first things I did was book on the Pole Masters. I was convinced by one of my good friends, Matty Dawes, to do so. And I haven't looked back since, really. I've been really looking forward to it, putting plenty of hours preparation prior to the Pole Masters. And it's been absolutely great. I mean, the hospitality at Tunnel Barn Farm is brilliant. The organisation's been great, especially with things regarding COVID at the moment. It's not easy to organise an event such as this. It's been absolutely brilliant. I've had a great 3 days fishing and I can't wait to come next year. So 3 days, day one, Tom's drew me peg 5 on extension. On the wider part of extension, it's not a really renowned peg. Didn't really fancy it too much, but I've been quite lucky. There's been obviously a ball of fish there. I've caught 35 fish short, 10 fish across on casters, and a couple of fish down the edge later on maggots. Finished with 52 fish for £102, which has fortunately won the section and just outside the main framing spots. Day two, Tom's then drew me down on the cold part of extension, peg 37. I've basically set up there to fish a really negative match with a view to try and come in first or second in the section. Been quite lucky. There's been a couple of carp down the edge later on, and I've caught mainly down there on ground bait maggots, and I've ended up with 20 odd fish for £72, which has won the section again, fortunately. And then day three, I've had a bit of luck today. I've drew peg 14 on new, and fortunately peg 17 hasn't been drawn, which has done me a favour. I've had a bit of room. I've basically picked off fish all around my peg most of the match. I just kept rotating lines, mainly on worms, and I've ended up with 32 fish for £82, I think. Which was enough to win the lake, which was absolutely brilliant, and it was just enough to beat my good friend Matty Dawes to the win. So yeah, well done Matty, and it's been great. Put the money in the bank, Tom. We're saving for another house at the moment, so the money will come in handy for renovation purposes, and then the pole, I just can't wait to use it.
So there we have it, folks. 3 epic days of match fishing and a very deserving champion. If you want to get involved with this event next year, you can do so by contacting Tunnel Barn Farm on the number below. Speak to Annette and she'll add you to the waiting list. Or it might be you've enjoyed the coverage and want to look back at some of the live videos that we shot over the 3 days. You can do that by going on Catch More Media and scrolling back to June the 21st, 22nd and 23rd, when you'll see all the live videos and media from the event. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you've enjoyed it.